Hi, welcome to my political show, Behind the Scene. It's about Sri Lankan politics and what happens behind the scene. Today on the show, I'm going to talk about the major statements made by the Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa about foreign investments. He said that how important are foreign investments for our country. Well, we will talk how important, how he can achieve that. We will talk about. Before start the show, I want to hit the like button and subscribe to my show. Now, as we all know, the president says that Sri Lanka needs foreign investments. He said he will make rules and laws that will protect investments. Well, let's see. But the problem is, it's not his fault, but the reputation of the government does not help the cause. Internationally, the current Sri Lankan government has been called as a dictatorship, and that's maybe it's not, but the community, the international community, thinks that this is a dictatorship. And unfortunately, they might be true or wrong, that's up to you to judge. But the matter of the fact is, until that image is being changed, there is no way we get foreign investments in this country. That's impossible. Because let's get one thing straight. Even the last government said they are going to be foreign investment. They said there will be a factory from Volkswagen factory. Did we get a Volkswagen factory or a VW factory? No, we get none of that. In fact, maybe it's not their fault. Maybe they just couldn't get it done because this country's reputation is stale in international duties. It's too stale. That's the reality. But the current government is trying their best to get investments, but I'm not so sure it's working. The current Prime Minister is not laying the foundation for foreign investments as he deals with China. China and foreign investments does not go well because people don't consider China to be a rather lovely ally. And our country does recognize, and that's totally fine because our country and China has a wonderful relationship that has served us really well throughout the years, and we can stand by our allies, and that's totally acceptable. But if you're dealing with foreign investments, you need to have a flexibility on how you deal with that factor. There will be a major importance, and the brains behind such a big movement should also be considered as well. So as you know, that areas. But the major thing to understand is that the Sri Lankan economy, I will be honest, has collapsed in the last few years. We have collapsed to a position where things are not looking really good. The markets might say something else, but the reality is far-fetched. The only thing we have some control over is the pandemic, which the government has done really well. But the biggest problem is taxes. This country has seen so many taxes increased all over the years. The people are simply struggling to pay the taxes, but yet for some reason we are living with it and we are fine with it for some reason. I don't know how are people managing it. And lack of employment means by the time the pandemic is over and people come out, people have no money in their pockets and they got to do soul searching again for jobs and employment again. That is a big problem. And the political situation in this country is not much better than what it used to be. And there's no assurances that anyone stays in power. That's the reality. And this government have lots of potential, as previously talked about, staying in power. But again, there is no assurance or lack of stability in either departments. People have a problem in this country. You and me, all of us have a problem. We don't have money in our pockets. We can't do anything. We have no jobs. We are stuck to our houses. But I must applaud the people of this country of Sri Lanka for doing the right thing. Standing behind the masks and protecting themselves from the virus. And thank God we don't have millions of deaths like other people would have around the world. We don't have that, thank goodness. But the biggest thing about foreign trade is it gives us benefits. We can do goods trade with other countries and good foreign relations. Let's hope they can come up with. The reality is the current government's image is not helping the cause of foreign trade. We know that, and if they want to bring foreign trade for Sri Lanka, they have to change their reputation in the international community. That's the main fact. Other than that, if they can do that, then we have no problem of having foreign aid and foreign investments. Once that happens, we have a great future ahead of us. This country will definitely prosper. Of course, this episode is all about that. So thank you very much for joining me on the show. Hit the like button and subscribe to my show.